Did you know that 92% of millennial customers prefer to purchase goods from ethical businesses? Or that 82% of those customers think ethical brands perform better than comparable businesses that don't uphold ethical standards? This video will define ethical marketing and examine examples of companies that have demonstrated this dedication. The following examples demonstrate ethical marketing ideas in action and demonstrate why supporting charitable organizations is so successful for modern firms. What exactly is ethical marketing? Let's define ethical marketing for a bit before moving on to the examples. Ethical marketing involves corporations selling their products and services to customers and socially responsible or environmental issues. To put it another way, ethical marketing is a mindset rather than a plan of action. It covers everything from making sure marketing are truthful and reliable to cultivating strong connections with clients through a set of shared values. Companies that place a strong emphasis on ethical marketing assess their choices from both a business and moral standpoint, determining whether a certain marketing activity will result in the intended return. Let's move on to the important information now that that is over. A few fundamental marketing ethics rules are as follows. 1. Fairness. When organizations choose fairness as a guiding principle in decision-making, they agree to offer fair prices, higher wages, and sustainable development. 2. Honesty. Honesty is a cornerstone of moral conduct. Sincere businesses don't try to deceive customers. Instead, they utilize marketing communications to convey accurate, unedited information about the benefits and uses of their goods and services. 3. Responsibilities. Businesses may highlight their responsibilities in a variety of ways, such as their duty to deliver a reliable good or service, back charitable causes, support local communities, treat their employees with respect, or safeguard the environment through environmentally friendly practices. 4. Transparency. In business, transparency refers to being honest with the public about your activities, especially the moral treatment of employees and the sustainability and environmental effects of your goods or services. Example number 1 of ethical marketing, Tom's. Corporate philanthropy is a vital component of Tom's principles and brand. It's not just something the company does to earn fast money. After visiting Argentina, Blake Mycoskie founded Tom's in 2006. Mycoskie witnessed firsthand how difficult it was for residents of Argentina's poorer regions to survive without shoes during his tour, a problem that most of us probably take for granted. Mycoskie made the decision to start his business with donating in mind after returning from his trip. More than 60 million pairs of shoes have been handed by the Tom's Shoe Company to children in need worldwide since 2006. In addition, Tama's eyewear branch has donated more than 400,000 pairs of glasses to people who are blind and cannot afford ophthalmological care. Through its coffee business, the company has expanded its activities to include clean water efforts, and its bag line has supported programs to increase access to birthing kits for expectant mothers in poor countries, as well as training for birth attendants. Over 25,000 women have received safe childbirth assistance from Tom's to this point. What ethical marketing practices does Tom's use? With regard to almost every part of its branding, Tom's proudly displays its commitment to social and environmental philanthropy. This not only makes potential clients aware of the type of business they are working with right away, but it also continuously communicates Tom's brand values throughout all platforms. Check out the Tom's website. The business informs you that for every product you buy, Tom's will assist someone in need. Since the company's objective is so essential to its branding, it receives almost as much attention on its website as the items it sells. In fact, it's nearly hard to browse Tom's website without finding more instances of how the company supports individuals globally. This isn't an ordinary dishonest attempt to profit off fake gestures or a heartwarming sales gimmick. It's the same idea that firms who employ display advertising use. The humanitarian objective of Tom's is consistently reaffirmed throughout its website and marketing materials, just as numerous display commercials are made to increase brand awareness and attain top-of-mind presence among consumers. As a result, it is nearly hard to think of Tom's as a brand without invoking up images of its numerous charitable endeavors and corporate giving programs. Example number 2 of ethical marketing, Everlane. One of the most contentious sectors in the world is clothing production. Over the past 20 years or so, much more focus has been placed on how and where our clothes are made, especially in light of tragedies like the 2012 Bangladesh factory fire that claimed 117 lives and destroyed a garment manufacturing facility. This factory produced clothing for American retailers like Walmart and Sears. Due to increased knowledge of sweatshops, demand for ethically created clothes has skyrocketed, inspiring dozens of firms like Everlane that aim to transform how we make and view clothing. Everlane, which Michael Priesman founded in 2010, is resolutely dedicated to ethical manufacturing. All of Everlane's clothing is produced in facilities that respect the highest standards of quality, both in terms of the products produced and in terms of how employees are treated. Everlane takes great satisfaction in the fact that it exclusively collaborates with businesses that show a strong dedication to the welfare of their employees in its marketing materials. What kind of ethical marketing does Everlane use? Like other ethical firms, Everlane publishes its brand story on its About page, detailing how it supports the rights and welfare of the people who manufacture its clothing. But what's really intriguing about Everlane is its dedication to extreme transparency. Everlane goes beyond simply stating that its clothing is produced and distributed ethically. The brand also gives buyers a thorough explanation of the costs associated with each and every one of its fashionable basic pieces. This covers information on the price of components, labor, shipping, logistics, excise taxes, and even hardware like zippers and buttons. You can see exactly how each of the manufacturing and logistical factors influences the retail price by comparing the $60 production cost of the company's Elements jacket to the following. Fair marketing cost breakdown for Everlane clothing. The majority of commercially made clothes often has a highly guarded production cost. This is not only due to the fact that a breakdown of such prices would show a brand's potential profit margin on a particular item, but also because they draw attention to the appalling pay and working conditions that many individuals who work in the clothing manufacturing industry experience. Everlane can give its customers the kind of transparency they want, while also benefiting from the significant good karma that this kind of radical transparency gives by audaciously disclosing exactly how much each of its clothing costs to create. Ethical marketing example number 3. Dr. Bronner's. Although there are literally hundreds of soap brands on the market, few are as distinctive or memorable as Dr. Bronner's, the top-selling organic liquid soap brand in America. Consumer demand for cleansing products made responsibly has grown in recent years. You already know that Dr. Bronner's soap is a little different from other soap makers if you've ever purchased or seen a bottle of it. In this way, Dr. Bronner's does a great job. The company is dedicated to achieving a number of specific goals, such as increasing public awareness of important environmental and social justice issues, using fair trade ingredients that have received USDA certification, and implementing equitable compensation plans that end executive pay at 5 times that of lower-level employees. Example number 4 of ethical marketing, conscious coffees. Few industries are likely to experience the kind of disruption brought on by climate change as intensely as agricultural coffee production. In worrying news for the persistently caffeinated, literally half the world's coffee farming land could be lost by 2050 if climate change isn't tackled aggressively. Globally, the coffee industry directly supports the livelihoods of more than 120 million of the world's poorest people. Conscious Coffees is one of several businesses working to better the circumstances for coffee farmers and producers worldwide. Mark and Melissa Glenn created Conscious Coffees, which has its headquarters in Boulder, Colorado in 1996. They eventually sold the company to Craig Lamberty, who is the current owner, earlier this year. Conscious Coffees has devoted many hours since its foundation to enhancing its production pipelines to the advantage of growers, farmers, and suppliers throughout South America. Conscious Coffees, a qualified B Corporation like Dr. Bronner's, has a community impact score that places it in the top 10% of all certified B Corporations globally. What ethical marketing practices does Conscious Coffees work for? From its name to its emblem, Conscious Coffees represents its mission and ethical production philosophy. Conscious Coffees is strongly committed to ethical manufacturing methods and fair trade business, and it also takes part in a variety of community outreach programs. Through training workshops, continuous advice, and assistance, its KFA Livelihoods program gives people in El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, and Nicaragua the ability to own and run their own coffee enterprises. The company frequently gives coffee to the community's Community Cycles program, which is managed by cyclists from all around the Boulder area and provides assistance to other riders by repairing, maintaining, and restoring old and used bicycles. As part of the USAID-funded Farmer to Farmer initiative, Conscious Coffee's team of coffee experts provides technical guidance and support to growers and farmers. This initiative helps coffee farmers throughout South America learn new methods that can help them maximize yields and participate in fair trade economic practices with North American suppliers. Conscious Coffees is the perfect example of a brand that not only uses ethical marketing practices, but embodies them in everything it does. Although the companies in this video are all very different from one another, they all have one thing in common: a dedication to helping others and defending the rights and way of life of some of the most defenseless individuals on Earth. These businesses have embraced ethical marketing as a fundamental component of their organizational mission and values. The long-term strategy of activism, advocacy, and ongoing education underpins ethical marketing. It aims to assist customers in making smarter, more thoughtful decisions about the goods they purchase and the businesses they visit. It requires changing the way we perceive how goods are produced, the individuals who make and sell the products we buy on a daily basis, and the communities whose survival depends on moral trade. By coordinating your company's values with those of your target clients, you may develop brand loyalty. We hope that these examples have inspired you to think about how you may establish and apply generous ideals in your own business.